The progressives are going to have a field day with this one. Another reason why they'll tout minimum wage needs to be raised. It's because of a January 2020 article in the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health. And it posits that increases in minimum wage cause lower suicide rates. Now, that's a tough one. Okay, so it cost $27 to get into this article. And before I even do this, let me posit why this is at best a correlation and not a causation. And any social scientist knows the difference. Correlation means as one thing goes up, another thing goes up. It doesn't mean one caused the other, and very possibility there's another cause. Let me give a possible better correlation and cause. Just guess. How about religiosity relating to lower suicide? And sure enough, on every continent except one, the nations with the highest level of religiosity have very low suicide rates. Okay? In North America, that would belong to Honduras. Okay? High, they're in the 80% range for religiosity. And by the way, US is 53%. Honduras is in the bottom quintile for suicide rate. South America, that most religious of countries, Brazil. Very low suicide rate in Brazil. Europe, the lowest of the suicide rates, Greece, and also the highest by far, religiosity. In Asia, it is Pakistan with a high rate of religiosity, the 94%, and in the lowest of the nations for that continent for suicides. And finally, Oceania, Indonesians are at 90+% religiosity and near the bottom in suicides. Only in Africa is the correlation skewed. So, isn't that a better correlation and almost certainly causation? Not your wage determining whether you're going to take your own life, but whether God says it is right to take your own life. Lot better prescription too, because the progressives will say, "Ooh, let's just raise the minimum wage." The conservative says, "Return God and spirituality to your life, and you're going to save it." Now, just in case wage really matters in taking one's life, why isn't the prescription the opposite of what the liberals want? The progressives here would like a high minimum wage, and they'll say it'll save lives. But everyone, even progressive economists, know that if you force a high minimum wage on a population, some people don't get jobs at all. Don't you think they're the ones that are most desperate? They have even less money. And spiritually, they know that it is beyond their control to get jobs because the government policy is keeping them from being hired. It's hard to think of a more depressing situation when your livelihood is totally out of your control. If progressives really think that a minimum wage that's low is unsafe, then they better release people to make what they're capable of instead of making zero. I'm Mark Stewart. Thank you for listening.